was one of your earliest memories of a gospel performance? Now, when I say that, I know when it's in church, people don't like to call it a performance, but you know,
it is
but
a
it
performance. It is
that
what it
moved
is.
you. And one of your most transcending performances that maybe you had as when you sing, you know, like one of those times when you just like it took you to another place, or when you were listening to somebody, it really moved you in a way beyond. I'm sure it moves you every Sunday or every time you're in church, but you know, there's some that are really.
Well, what moved me was the radio station, WLIB, with Joe Bostic back in the early 50s, and Fred Bard. It's now WWRL and Doc Wheeler, those old DJs, and the music that they play. And I remember that there was this group over in Jersey called the Drink Art Singers. And Cissy Houston, which is Whitney's mother, she'd come on, Joe Bostic would play that every morning after he played The Gospel Train Is Coming. He'd play Rise, Shine, Give God the Glory.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what they sing. I just love the Drink Art Singers. I'm a traditional gospel music person. I love what they call quartet music, and I love the traditional sound. I feel no matter what come and go, what really bring people in and touch people would be the traditional sound. The young people have their own sound, but it's always that traditional sound that draw them in to the church.
Right.
And those songs they turn them the way they want to, but they end up saying, well, this is the way it was done back in the day that my grandmother or my great-grandmother told me to do it. So that's part of what inspired me, plus the choir music on Sunday mornings, you know, certain songs that they sang. But basically, my memory is the Drink Art Singers over in Newark, New Jersey.
That's good. That's great. Yeah, I wanted to ask you, I was going to do it later, but I'm going to ask you now since you talked about, you know, gospel has so many, the umbrella of gospel music is huge now. I mean, you have the praise and worship kind of singing, you have things that sound much more contemporary and kind of reach even maybe beyond people that are going to church, which is great because it brings a spirit. So how do you feel about, I mean, you just said you like the real traditional ones, but how do you feel? Like, do you enjoy hearing the other ones? Do you?
Yes, I do. I love all types of real gospel, you know, gospel music, praise and worship, whatever. I love it all, but my favorite is traditional.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just wondered because I said there's so many, I mean, like, there's just so many types now. I mean, you go to one church and they, you know, they might have one service where they do the traditional, then they might have, the, you know, one that they do a little more praise and worship type, and you know.
Well, the show that I have, which is called the Gospel Showcase,
which is what we're
I have to cater to all ages and different types of denominations.
Yeah, you want to reach people that aren't just in the faith of gospel music, being Baptist or Protestant or whatever. Or, you know, because that music, I don't care if you're, it doesn't matter what religion you practice, even if it's far removed from it, you know, a Christian religion. I mean, there's many great religious practices. That kind of music just touches the universal part of faith, you know, like having a faith, I think.
And it's our job to bring in the sheep. Right,
exactly. I wanted to ask, you know, because churches are so amazing, like architecturally, is there anyone architecturally been, because you travel around to churches when you shoot and everything, but even as going on your own, you know, as a participant in services, like an architectural structure of a church that like you really have loved or you're really fond of a particular space? I mean, the church is the people, of course, but is there a space that you've been in? Yeah, that you've really liked?
There's been so many that I've been in that I really love. I cannot, it would not even be fair
to pinpoint one.
Yeah, that's not fair, you know, because I've so many states that I've traveled and going to other countries, so many beautiful cathedrals that I've seen, you know. We had something that really my friends teased me about, even though I'm not Catholic. Remember 9/11?
Did you sing for that after that?
No, it wasn't the singing. I had to pray. And the first place I ran was Tolentine Catholic Church. And you went into a Catholic church where I said, I'll pray anywhere. God is everywhere.
Yeah, you just sit down and do your thing. That's it.
I went into the Catholic church and I prayed. Matter of fact, speaking of Catholic, different denominations, one of the first groups that appeared when I became the vice president years back of the Gospel Showcase at that time was St. Charles Roman Catholic Church. They had a gospel choir.
Oh, nice.
And they appeared on the Gospel Showcase back in 1981.
Right. Those were the early days of the Gospel Showcase.